when it comes to being a good teammate, at least in the public eye. After Cleveland's loss, Shedeur was quick to defend his coaches and his team. Take a listen to this, Ocho, what he had to say after the game when they tried to catch him up again.
Make decision. Go for it on 4th and 2.
I know you can't be asking me that question, man. Come on, man. We can't see that's like the thing. Like, if we want to change, the narrative, change the franchise, if we want to like help, we got to speak. Life, you can't. Those type of things is like separate us. Like a lot of the players like get these type of questions, and then we want to be working with y'all. We want to be proactive, but like when you ask questions or when questions are asked to us players, and it's like you pinning stuff against each other, it's like, come on now, you know. It's like a thing in the locker room, like. You know, we're not gonna be able to talk to them for real. We're not gonna be able to give them what they need, like, because that separates the team. That don't help anything. It don't help anything in any situation, no matter how you answer it.
Let's get real for a second, because what happened after the Browns' 23-20 loss to the Bills wasn't really about football. It wasn't about stats, interceptions, or even the loss itself. It was about pressure. It was about respect. It was about a young quarterback being asked to carry an entire franchise's dysfunction on his back every single week. Cleveland was right there late in a 3-point game. The offensive line struggled, the run defense leaked, and the margin for error was razor thin. And yet, who's standing at the podium? Shedeur Sanders. Not the coaches, not the front office, not the veterans with years in the league. It's him. And before the reporter even finishes the question, you hear it in his voice. Come on, man, you can't be asking me that. That wasn't frustration, it was leadership. Shedeur didn't dodge, he didn't snap, and he didn't throw anyone under the bus. He did what great quarterbacks do. He protected his locker room, made it clear those questions don't build anything, and refused to let the media divide his team. Shannon Sharpe said it best, the media is part of the problem. And this isn't a one-off. Every loss, every rough stretch, every mistake magnified, every moment of poise downplayed. It's a pattern. That's why Unc and Ocho went off, because they've lived it. They've seen the bait. They've seen the narratives, and they immediately recognized it. Shedeur Sanders is media savvy. He sees it all, he reads it all, and he refuses to take it.
I like that. Listen, the media is part of the problem. The media is part of the problem. Obviously, it's already been a circus over there, right?
Divisive.
Yeah, divisive tactics and questioning that they're using, trying to trip Shedeur up. And Shedeur being media savvy, understanding not to answer those questions, understanding not to take that goddamn bait, and to do what he's doing. You got to protect your teammates. You got to protect your coach. You got to protect your team in general, despite what they may think about you internally, because you've heard it and you've seen it done to you, but still doing right by them, because you understand that that's what you have to do. You know, you've been given a great opportunity, and he's doing all the things right that he can to make sure he does the best he can, whether it be on the field, off the field, in the media, in the community. And I mean, that's all we can do is commend him on that. Now, this game, you're gonna have to help me out on this one. This is the one game I wasn't able to see. The rest of them was playing in the...
Let's break down what really went down in that 23-20 Browns loss to Buffalo, because this wasn't just a game. It was chaos wrapped in pressure. Cleveland started strong with an early touchdown, rhythm flowing, and the defense containing Josh Allen for a bit. But the run game got exposed. James Cook ran wild. The ground game shifted all the pressure to Shedeur Sanders, and that's when it got messy. He threw 2 interceptions, sure, but here's the part most people ignore. Multiple passes were tipped at the line, and for a quarterback his size, that's not normal. Shannon even pointed it out. It's mechanics, delivery angles, arm slots, things you fix in the offseason, not a leadership flaw. Yet the questions went straight to culture, division, and headlines, and Shedeur shut it down, because he understands what rookies rarely do. Once the locker room feels divided, you've already lost. Think about it. Any rookie QB answering franchise-level questions every loss. Unreal. That's where Ocho chimed in. Shedeur's doing everything right on and off the field, and that matters. The offensive line struggled, especially the left tackle, and Shedeur was hit and sacked. Greg Russo literally ran through blockers like they weren't there. Tipped passes happen, interceptions happen, that's football, but the media never starts there. And yet, Shedeur stood tall, talking life into the franchise, unity and accountability. Leadership isn't just winning, it's protecting your teammates and your team, even under fire. His stat line? 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks? Not eye-popping, but context matters. Inconsistent run game, Judkins injured, broken protection, and he even hurt his pinky on his throwing hand. Grip matters, yet he stood in front of the cameras, didn't complain, didn't deflect, and didn't throw anyone under the bus. How many QBs get praised for leadership only when they win? Shedeur shows up even in losses, and UNCC and Ocho saw it. They recognized media bait and tried to stir attention, and he calmly shut it down. Zoom out. Cleveland's a team in transition. Injuries, roster holes, Myles Garrett chasing history, offense inconsistent, but the microscope stays on the QB. Quarterbacks are easy targets, but not all respond like Shedeur. Some crack, some lash out, some start blaming, but Shedeur Sanders absorbs it all and redirects it. That's why this moment matters more than the final score. Wins and losses fade, but leadership moments stick. Ask yourself, if Shedeur weren't who he is, if his last name wasn't Sanders, would these questions even be asked this way? Expectations shifted the moment he walked into the building, and maybe that's unfair, but when he meets the higher standard, you have to acknowledge it. On this night, despite the loss, he did. This isn't about pretending Shedeur is perfect or ignoring mistakes. It's about recognizing growth, understanding pressure, and calling out nonsense. Young quarterbacks need development, protection, and space to grow, not traps disguised as questions. Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco saw the pattern immediately. Week after week, loss after loss, Shedeur is expected to answer for things bigger than one quarterback. When Cleveland wins, the story is the defense. When Cleveland loses, it's all on him. It's narrative control, and Shedeur refused to play into it. Instead, he flipped the script, telling the media that changing the franchise starts with speaking life. That's not a typical response from a young quarterback under fire. It's leadership. How many QBs at his stage would have taken the bait, vented, or said something that could be twisted? Shedeur didn't, because he knows once you give the media an inch, they take a mile. Covered like a headline machine, every word analyzed, every reaction scrutinized, he still maintained composure. Ocho said it best, Shedeur is doing all the right things, on the field, off the field, in the media, and in the community. And in a stormy Cleveland environment, offensive line struggles, injuries piling up, a run game disappearing at crucial moments, he stood tall. Buffalo wins 23-20, but this isn't just a loss, it's a lesson in leadership, resilience, and poise under pressure. It was a tight game, and Cleveland had chances to steal it late, but on that final drive, the pressure was relentless. Shedeur didn't have clean pockets, routes couldn't develop, and when protection breaks down like that, a quarterback becomes reactive instead of proactive. Mechanics suffer, and tipped passes happen. Shannon pointed out these are fixable, developmental issues, not red flags, yet the media went straight to controversy. UNCC and Ocho drew the line because they've seen young stars framed as problems instead of projects, and they weren't letting that happen quietly. Even with his pinky taped, Shedeur stood tall, defended his teammates, and spoke of unity, proving that this moment was bigger than a loss. He set boundaries with the media, showing rare honesty and saying players only engage if the relationship isn't toxic, which made some uncomfortable because it disrupted chaos-driven narratives. If he had snapped, the story would have been different, but he stayed composed, proving that loss reveals character. Cleveland still has questions to answer this season, but one thing is clear, Shedeur Sanders is not running from pressure, he's learning to control it, and that's dangerous in a good way. Losses expose character, and in this one, Shedeur showed exactly who he is.